So this bit is for the folks who are tuning in later because nobody is here live yet. So the service just ended and you don't even see that door. There we go. We like to give the impression that we're in a clean, well-lighted space is would befit. Who is it that said that? Was it Hemingway that wrote that story? Anyway, welcome to the post-service live. Who is here? We got one person. Is that me or is that somebody else? Say hi if you're here. Two people. All right. All right. Hey, Yetta, how are you doing? It feels like with the delay, here's the thing. I wish going back in time that we would have done this live portion. I wish we would have done it on Zoom. I forgot why we decided to do it YouTube live. I think just because it's a little bit easier to manage, participation and we don't wind up talking over each other and things like that. But I sort of wish that we had the opportunity to all see each other when we were doing this part, because it is a little bit strange to be responding and trying to pick up the comments over here in the live chat. I like it. It's fun. It's better than not interacting at all, that's for sure. But I also really miss seeing your faces when we have this this service here, post service. Yeah, you got a delay on the YouTube. Even I think Ross or Cynthia also was having a delay for a while. We figured out if you refresh the page, it would eliminate that. Perhaps at least that was their experience. Mine came through fine. So anyway, so I'm here to address any thing that the service brought up. If you want me to expand or explain or further muse on any thing that I didn't quite achieve clarity on in the service, or something that was interesting to you and you'd like me to go on about a little bit further, or if you just had any questions in general. I will say, as you are typing those questions, if you had any or a request, that it's quite possible that next weekend we will be broadcasting live, not pre-recorded, except for the music. The music will be pre-recorded, but we have our eye on a very near future transition into live streaming from the sanctuary with the SSA present, along with some production crew. So that will be really exciting. It will certainly save a lot of time for our communications team, I hope. And not next weekend, Ross says. Well, Ross, you're the boss of production, so I'll go with your recommendation there. Anyway, so it's been like 2 months we've been in quarantine, and things are on a bit of a roller coaster, I suppose, emotionally. At least they are for me, and a lot of times that is an unpredictable and there's not a causative event that would send me into like a morning's worth of anxious, low energy, and vice versa. No cause that would send me into a productive and happy space either. Not that those two things are the same thing, but that's the state of being that we're in. So, I'm trying to figure out ways through that. And curiosity has always been my great help. And it's not that you have to come up with an answer, right? Curiosity isn't necessarily answer seeking. I think curiosity is relationship seeking. And so if I could deepen my relationship with my experience, it winds up just softening the edges of it, whether it's ecstatic or depressive. Applying curiosity softens the edges and ameliorates, is that the right word? Everything. And just makes it all easier to process and carry on through. All right. So what are you finding helps you through these moments, by the way? Or what do you, I mean, like, do you have that same sense of curiosity being helpful without necessarily seeking answers, but seeking relationship? And I want to interact with you, so type some things for me here. Yeah. Thanks, Nancy. It's true, because sometimes you're curious, like, if you're having a low energy or emotional trough, there may be a reason for that, and there may not be a reason for that. But I think investigating the context in which it is occurring, and your history, and maybe some reasons why that's taking place, even if you don't find, I shouldn't say reasons why it's taking place, the immediately preceding events, which may or may not have led to that state of mind, can just help you center yourself. And it's actually, it's something to do that is, it's a spiritual exercise. So it doesn't take anything but your attention. Okay. Well, sounds like, hang on, just going to read this from you at the message about curiosity and relationship felt very woven together with the book that you're reading. Oh yeah, I'm reading that book too. So maybe, maybe that's why. That's funny. Yeah, that is a lovely book that where the mind of a scientist and a person who's steeped in cultural heritage that has her in deep relationship with the world. Those are braided. Those two influences are braided throughout that book, and absolutely sort of creates I don't even think that she talks about necessarily curiosity, but it certainly creates an invitation into that state of mind. Yeah. I'm just reading some of your comments here. What helps me, says Helen, is hearing the truth for people. I don't want to be buckled up. I wonder what buckled up means. I want authenticity, also openness to what's happening. Yes. Hearing the truth for people, man, that is something that is incredibly important right now, I think, because it gets us hearing other people's truth, gets us out of our own echo chamber and into a less compromised position, because the echo chamber compromises us, I believe. It compromises our ability to think critically and to think independently, or at least in a sovereign way, to think in a sovereign way. So a sovereign has relationships, but is not ruled by them, but rather enters into them in full possession of their abilities, right? That's what sovereignty means in that respect. And if we are stuck in our own buckled up bubble, maybe, is that what you kind of meant there, Helen? That that we basically, we like diversity, right? And one of the reasons why we like diversity is I find a good analogy for that in biology, where if you have a monocrop, a monoculture, if one thing goes wrong, the whole crop fails, right? And everything collapses. So the same thing is happening, I believe, in our political arena, largely maintained on social media, where the algorithm selects for messages that are appealing to us constantly, nothing that really challenges us unless we're getting into a little bit of a scrap with somebody else on there. And then we wind up ever further into our echo chamber and are a sort of monoculture of the mind, which is a dangerous place to be. And care and fun, curiosity is like free association, letting the mind loose to make relationships. I love that. Yes. Yeah. And there it's not so much, I guess it is kind of a discipline, but it's a discipline that is more, when I think of discipline, I think of something that's a little rigid, and that doesn't sound rigid. So I like that. It sounds exploratory and freeing and spacious and poetic. So, okay. Well, I appreciate all of your comments and questions, and I really love seeing all your names here. Stay tuned for how things are going to change in terms of our delivery of services over the next few weeks. There is likely to be some modification to them, and possibly learning curve, although I think it'll be more like going back to what we know we do rather than creating entirely new ways of delivering services to you all. Really appreciate this community and how it is held together through this bizarre time. And always, as always, thanks to the communications team for helping us deliver this, and thanks to all of you for showing up. And now, do go to the Zoom coffee hour. It is a nice way to spend a little extra time with one another, see each other's faces, and exchange some thoughts. And that is, in many ways, what being a Unitarian Universalist is all about. So, to you, and I'll see you soon. Have a good Sunday, everyone.